Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie Troop. I work with the Bill Richard Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. With me today is Gregg Morin of Washington Home Inspection Company. How are you, Gregg?
I'm wonderful, Stephanie. Thank you for having me today.
Of course, thank you for being here.
Well, it's my pleasure.
So tell the people a little bit about you and your business.
I'm the owner of Washington Home Inspection. I'm located right here in Spokane. I've been in business for myself most of my life, but some years ago, I decided that home inspection would be the business for me. So that's what I'm at now.
What is a home inspection?
Home inspection is a visual inspection of a home that encompasses basically every component of the house. We get on the roof, we do the exterior, we'll go in a crawl space if there's a crawl space, we look at all the mechanical components, furnace, hot water tank, just about everything there is in a home, we'll do it.
Nice. So what made you go into business in this line of work?
Well, I'd been in construction my whole life, and it was actually Bill Richard that was sold me the home that I'm currently in, and we're in the process of buying it, and we had an offer that was accepted, and Bill said, did you want to do a home inspection? And I said, do I want to do a what? And he started talking to me about the business a little bit, and I knew that there was a home inspection business in industry, but I didn't really realize how entailed it was. And so the further we got in the process, it just sort of sounded like something that would be right up my alley, and that's what spawned me to pursue it. So I guess Bill Richard is the reason I got into it.
He's good that way, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's a smart guy.
What do you love most about being a home inspector?
You know, it's got to be probably the first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
Kids starting off, they've got eyes that are this big, and they're just, they're a little bit apprehensive, but they're so excited to get into their new home. And
yeah,
we work with them. We really work to put their minds at ease. We're going to fully evaluate the home for them, really walk them through all the components of owning a home.
Yeah.
And just make them feel comfortable, and the joy that they get from having the full knowledge of what it is they're going to be buying and living in is really something that is just so worthwhile. I just love it.
Absolutely. It's not a small purchase. So
no, one of the biggest purchases someone will ever make in their life. Yes.
Yeah. So it's awesome that people can turn to you to kind of quell those nerves. That's fantastic.
And it's not just first-time home buyers too. A lot of people buying a house, it's stressful. Or people say, I've been losing sleep over this thing, and I read your report, and I just feel so much better about it now. So
good.
Joyful to see that.
How long have you been doing this?
It's been probably about 11 years, I think, that I've been in the home.
Nice.
So
how has it changed since you got started?
Back when we first started, we had all us home inspectors carried around clipboards and pens, pretty simple digital cameras, and we're trying to walk on roofs and juggle cameras and clipboards and flashlights and things like that. But like everything today, the technology has just come so far. It's made our job so much easier.
Yeah.
It's the client that really is the one that benefits it. We can do a home inspection on a smartphone right now if you want. You can take the pictures, you can enter the information, and you can have it uploaded by the time you're done at the property. So we use tablets because they're a bit bigger and more accessible for our use, but the technology's great.
Yeah. Well, a tablet's never going to run out of ink or paper. So.
Or paper, that's right. Yes.
Well, I've seen you at many a home inspection, but how would you describe your customer service?
We try to go a little bit further than the average home inspector. We have realtors that tell us that. A lot of home inspectors will say, this component is a defect, and have someone else look at it. Where we'll look at something and say, well, might be an issue, and here's why it is. If it's something that you should have done right away, we'll advise you on that. Or if it's something, well, you're going to want to keep an eye on this. Mm-hmm. You might want to look at it, revisit the issue, maybe 6 months or a year.
Yeah.
So we try to differentiate between the varying degrees of things in a home and really educate the customer about what it is that we're talking about. And after they receive our report, they work with smart realtors like you that come up with a list of things that you try to get the sellers to hopefully take care of. And if they do take care of them, then we'll come back for free and do a reinspection before closing. In fact, I just did one today for another first-time home buyer, a young couple.
Yeah.
And we re-inspected all the work that they had done. And in this case, it was all done well and to my satisfaction, but many times it's not. So it's important that to re-inspect. So
Yeah.
I don't know of any of our competitors that offer.
Yeah, I can't think of any others that will make that return visit at the end and double check everything. So that's you're like my first phone call.
Well, I appreciate that, Stephanie. I've got just a handful of my favorite realtors, and you're certainly on it.
Oh, thank you.
You bet.
How does a new client go through the booking process with you?
I'm married to my phone. I've got that thing on me at all times. Weekends, anytime, if I'm awake, I'm answering my phone. But, we've done inspections where it's all done through texts and emails. I had a client that was moving back to the United States from, I think they were stationed in Germany somewhere.
Oh.
He did the whole thing electronically. When I was awake, he was asleep, and vice versa. I actually never talked to him in person until after the house closed, and I swung by and introduced myself to him. But
That's awesome.
it can all be done through text and emails, and certainly we're always responsive to those.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Would you recommend that a buyer be present, or does it make much of a difference in your head?
It doesn't necessarily make a lot of difference. If we had our first choice, it would be if we're in a typical house at least 2 hours. If we show up there and I'm inspecting, it's terrific if the client shows up maybe in the last half an hour.
Okay.
That way they can be there for the wrap up, and I can walk through the house and say, here's what I found here, here's what I found here.
Mm-hmm.
They're welcome to be there the whole time as well, but it gets pretty boring following me around and I'm up and down ladders. And we certainly encourage, if clients want to, a lot of clients want to be there the whole time, and that's certainly something that we encourage.
Yeah. Do you think that a home inspection is something that is like exclusively for a buyer, or should owners do them periodically?
We have done, the majority of our business are for buyers, but we do a ton of home inspections for sellers as well.
Mm-hmm.
To list their house, and they don't want any surprises once they hit the market. So we'll go into a house that's ready to sell, and we'll say, well, you're going to need some carbon monoxide detectors. You're probably going to have that service furnace because that's going to come up on a home inspection. And so we do a lot of those as well. And then as well as new construction, there's always a 1-year warranty with a house. And so we'll go back at the end of the year, right before the home warranty expires, and we'll re-inspect.
That's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's surprising. A lot of new homes, you think, oh, well, it must be just fine. It's a brand new house, but it's surprisingly how many things that come up on new home construction.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, do you do walkthroughs at like the time of a certificate of occupancy? Do you do a lot of inspections on new construction before closing?
We've had folks that are having a home built with a particular builder, and they've got a construction loan, and every month they submit the percent of work that was done to their bank, and that's added to their loan. And we've worked with those folks as well. At the end of every month, we go through and they'll say, well, the builder says that we're 35% done with the framing, and so he'll be paid that 35%. Well, if I go on site and find that there's just a few piles of lumber sitting there and there's nothing up, then we're going to pay for that quite yet. You don't want that. Not to be responsible for something that's not there, but certainly there's a process in the building a house that we are will help out with as well.
Yeah, I think that that's an avenue a lot of people are taking recently, just because there's a shortage. So it's good to know that there's a second set of eyes that can go out there and be like, They're 35% done, but that's because they've got nails and they've got wood. But that's about
That's
it.
right. Yeah. Well, and builders, it's a great, there are a lot of great contractors in town.
Yeah.
But they're not necessarily on the same side as you. If you're a homeowner, you're the one that's paying them. You got to have somebody that represents you, that knows the industry and is able to process. So we've done that as well for a lot of clients.
That's awesome. If you need a home inspection done, I can't recommend Gregg enough. If I'm buying a house, he is who I'm calling. And if you're buying a house, feel free to call me or the Bill Richard Group. Our number is 509-893-2041. What's the best way to get in touch with you, Gregg?
Spokane local number 509-868-2103.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. And Gregg, thank you. You're worth it.